What's going on with me, to put it very simply, is that Jay Inslee's administration and regime are circling me to use me as a justification for genocide. And the whole world is in on it. There's nothing that can bring me back. You've tortured me. I have Parkinson's and I'm deaf. But the way they plan it for Pennsylvania is to construe it as a circular force that they're observing in retrospect by the way I look at Asian porn. I'm alone, deaf, with Parkinson's. They say this is what this cosmic kid was up to that forced us to put up a Venus flytrap on Mount Desert Island. And they've had the help of Jeff and Corporation and the high offices of government, ignoring, punishing, and restricting anything remotely resembling evidence for what really happened. And sort of feeds into this idea. When I was little, I was about 10 when the 60s were going on. I heard, of course, about cheap cop tricks, sheriffs putting pot in an ashtray so they could arrest somebody who looked like a hippie. And I knew that civil rights were violated. There was a book that went around called Up Against the Wall about how to manage your affairs if you came up against arrest or investigation or invasion of privacy. I didn't know that the military were the ones making light of pot use so they could ensnare children in pornographic trafficking for the purposes of genocide. Nobody ever suggested to me that the whole idea of American civil rights would be turned upside down by an ingenious renegade system coming from Yoko Ono and the fascists of old. I had to learn about that from a situation where sex for reckless abandon was actually being promoted by the women. They throw around this Neva starlet named Andrea all the time. She was the one who pushed herself on me. I didn't want her around me. And I was told by Pittsburgh that it's a union town. Either you conform and pay your dues or you'll be beaten to death. They threatened to light me on fire in an alley once. And these stories do happen. You know, people who say, oh, I was just a crybaby. Is that what they say today in Pittsburgh about the children of Gaza? Because I was up against the exact same Israeli administration. Well, I suspected as a Falk Medical Library clerk when I saw what was happening that they were going to start testing and set up a Venus flytrap. I was not wrong. And I remembered Will Zell in Poconos Cafe saying, what would you think of a scheme to transform the human race by injecting the blood? There was a witness who jerked his head and looked our way. I can see him as clearly as the day it happened in my mind's eye. And I went to the lie detector office. Give the state trooper in the lie detector office in Augusta a lie detection test. Did a deaf man come here and try to testify? Fuck you, Netanyahu.